Hi everybody, it's Kathy from Huckleberry Herbs and Art, and I've been playing a little bit with my Dylusions paint, and I've recently added them to the store and wanted to investigate these paints and the journals and things that go with Diane Reevely's line. I'm not quite sure how I'll go about doing this entire video, but I thought I'd share a little bit with you, and then I want to dig into the journal. So I'm actually in the middle of doing the Italiana Riviera mini album, so I played a little bit with the greens and some of the stamps from Heartfelt just to see. I used the crushed grape and the martini green just to see what I could do on a small piece of paper, and considering some ideas for the album. This particular page is the twisting of the mini blender tool to clean off, and Diane Reevely suggests you keep a spare paper beside you so that you can clean off, and then in the end you end up with more backgrounds to use as cutout for your cards, or to journal on, or to create a beautiful piece of artwork. So this was just the clean off paper. I did use the let me see, this Pure Sunshine and the Lemon Zest and the Bubblegum Pink on this one, and then I came back with stencil using the white linen and stenciled these leaves. I really like that page. I think I'm definitely going to be doing something with that. Then I wanted to try some of the blues and the greens, and I think this was, let me see, turquoise, teal. This was the one that's called something teal, and then lemon zest, and probably the same green. And then I did some stenciling over that with the white linen, and then I took the bubblegum pink and I think I have crushed grape on here, and the Pure Sunshine, and I made this background, and I put this up on Instagram already a couple of weeks ago, but I combined it with Heartfelt Creations. This is the stamp comes from their All Dressed Up. Is that the name of it? No, All Glammed. Yeah, their Glammed collection, and it has a stamp set in it with this piano with the roses across the top. And then this is Graphic 45 from Enchanted Forest. Let me get over there so that you can see it. You can just maybe barely make out the little musical notes that are actually in the shape of a heart. Of course, this is mixed media, so it is definitely mixed up with a bunch of things. And yeah, I've put that stamp throughout. And I've got the honeycomb, and I painted with white linen some of these hearts. And this is actually from the Enchanted Forest Graphic 45, and then I went back with whatchamacallit, pearls. Painted in the gold. That's from the Enchanted Forest, If Music Be the Food of Love, Play On. Yeah, so I created this little music collage for myself, and I actually put it as wallpaper on my phone. I kind of like it. But what I want to do right now is dig into this journal. And I know that Diane Reevely teaches to just make a mess of it right away and all that, but I really am kind of a neat person. I don't know how to explain it. It's not really a neat person, but very detailed, organized right from the start. And as the pile gets bigger in crafting, I have to clean it up and start again. And I know that they say that people who are creative who are in a mess, but my messes get really huge, and then I just can't even get into the room, and I'm like, no, this is not working. So I probably won't go about it that way. I'm not going to spray all over my album and do it that particular way, but there's plenty of videos out there showing you how to do that. I'll just do things, the way I feel like it. So yeah, here's the envelope that you can put your ideas. I don't have anything in it yet, and I'm not going to use the first page. And my goodness, this paper is really thick, and supposedly it's been coated with something to help, because I was just using, when I did these, I just used regular cheap cardstock. This is just I don't know, I won't give any names, but it's just a plain old cardstock. and it dries up quickly because the paper is absorbing the paint. So I thought I would just dig in and have fun, and I want to see if the smoothness of this actually makes a difference. I have not used every color yet, so I still have my spare mini ink blending foams, and I think everything that you're going to see right now is actually in the store if you're interested in any of these items. Okay, so my idea was I kind of want to have the opening of the book to be a good taste of the many colors that come in the Dylusions paint, so I can come and see it. I mean, if I'm going to make a journal, for me, it's going to have, you know, multifunction. Yeah, to express myself, to be creative, and to try techniques and different media, and to mark special events and all that. But I also want to make sure that it shows me some of the things that I have at hand. It gives me ideas for later projects, okay? So I'm going to actually start with being cautious of the color wheel. I think I'm going to start up in the very left hand corner, and I'm going to come diagonally across, and I'm going to basically have the goal of almost like a rainbow effect. The lemon zest is the lightest other than the white, and I'm going to essentially have the light coming from this corner. So I'm going to start with that, but I'm actually only going to do a little bit of the yellow, because as I move across I'm going to go into greens, and if I do that on orange I'll get mud. So yeah, the yellow will be repeated because the color wheel says it has to be. Okay, so I'm going to start with the lemon zest, and these are very liquidy paints. I actually really like it. I hesitated like many people have. They're just beautiful. What a bright, lovely yellow. And I'm going to go kind of easy here because I only need a little of this at first. Got washi tape stuck to my arm. And I put a piece of larger paper down here, see, because I'm being neat. Alright, so I'm just going to, that's it. That is it. I'm just going to create the idea of sunshine right there. And to keep air from getting at it, I'm going to place that right on there because I will be back to that in just a second. And then I'm going to take my pure sunshine. Get just a little bit of that. That's it. It's tempting to just keep going and play. And this is smoother. It's already feeling much smoother to me. And I'm leaving the cover off until I switch completely the color type, family, etc. And I will need a new pad for this because it's the first time that I've used the squeezed orange, and we'll get to see if there really is that much of a difference. And it is blending very well because I'm getting it on there fast enough. And there is a difference. There is a difference. I don't know if you can see it, but there's definitely a difference. Okay, just until I know what I'm doing. Okay, now I have to go back to the yellow. Alright, so I'm going to go back to the yellow for a second, just because I need to create a barrier between, and it's still, see, it's blending because these paints dry pretty quickly, okay? And on the dried regular cardstock paper, it was much harder for me to blend if I left that much time in between, and that was not so on Diane Reevely's wonderful journal paper. How wonderful, Diane. Great that you got special paper. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is the fresh lime, I will need a new pad for that because that's a new color for me, so I haven't taken out a pad for that yet. I don't want to put my pads onto the covers like I've seen some people glue them here, because then I can't stack the paints, which I think that's how I'm going to have to take care of things, is stack. Alright, so let me blend this yellow in with it too. Try to stay away from the orange, but definitely blend a little of that green into a little of that yellow. Alright, so far so good. I'm not seeing any brown so far. And I gotta move a little bit quickly here so I can see. If you want to use that many colors, you're gonna have issues. This is cut grass. And I'll need a new pad for that, because that's a new color in the store and a new color for me to play with. So here is the cut grass. And I'm putting more than I need on for sure. Okay, but I'm leaving those pads on there because I may be able to come back and do one of those like cleanup things, because I've kept the air from getting to the paint by putting the pads right on top of the little spots. And I'm using so little amount of paint. Let's see if I can blend just a little bit. Yep, still blendable. Very nice. I'm liking this. I'm having fun. Look at the rainbow coming. Oh my goodness, so exciting. Alright, and now I have the Dirty Martini, but I'm not sure if that's the direction. Well, yeah, let's do it. Because that way I get to see the difference, you know? With the colors right next to each other. And I should have a Dirty Martini. Yep, I do. I have a Dirty Martini pad. And one of the reasons that this stayed soft is because I did that cleaning off method, which I'm going to have to do before we're done here. Okay. Dirty Martini. Oh yeah, that's neat. Definitely different than the cut grass. I'm just going a little lighter to make the lines less noticeable. I don't want it to be completely perfect. Alright, and it is a dirty green. I would not call it dirty. I'd say it's olivey. It's kind of an olivey color. Or shall we just say olive? Alright, now we're headed for the blues. I'm thinking that the polished jade is the closest to the green. So we'll come out of the green and head into the blue with the polished jade. And this is the first time I'm using the polished jade. And I'm going to have to do something to move you so that you can see. Alright, a new pad. Just a touch of the polished jade. And this has probably been on here. Oh, I see a little wetness still. Okay. Yeah, I can go much lighter. It's much smoother. Beautiful color. Here's the Calypso Teal. Gorgeous. London blue. Look at that beautiful blue. After midnight. That's really a deep royal blue. I'm just going lighter near the edge of the teal to see if I can blend out the harsh lines a little bit. Crushed grape. Funky fuchsia. Bubblegum pink. Postbox red. And I think I will go back in to Pure Sunshine to finish it off. Alright, so let me take you back. There it is. And over here is my endless mess. But I don't think I will normally do this. Normally I will do the 3 colors at a time thing that I was doing before. And all these are still wet because I covered them up. So I'm going to go back in right now off camera and use up those colors to clean off my sponges, and I'll show you what I mean when I'm nearing the end. Alright, as I am nearing the end of my cleanup here, I only have 2 colors left to go. You can see what I'm doing. I'm putting the pads back on, wiping up if there's any wet paint left on my palette, which is just my work mat, and I'm just working out the paint sort of in a, chose to do a backwards form of the rainbow. And this will be the page that when I only work with 2 or 3 colors, which would be the normal thing to do, I will just come to this page and clean off in the areas of where whatever matches up with the palette, and then eventually this will be completely covered with paint and I will create something with it. So anyway, that's my thinking on it. Being a neat and picky artist here, I just have such a bare dribble of wet yellow because I used so little of that. And I'll take you down here and show you what's happened at the other end of my desk. So that's what I've just done, and those are 2 different pages that I was working on just to clean. And then over here, there's where I had the paints and I was just putting a little dab, and then you can see all these pads, and most of them, they're all cleaned up. I didn't even use some of the white on them. They're still soft, and I will be able to use them numerous times on my tool. And then I will just spend some time cleaning this up, and I will now give my rainbow at least hours, if not overnight, to dry, and then I will come back and I will start to put some artwork in. I'm going to make sure that I include trying these Dylusions black marble and white linen paint pens, and whatever I do. So here's the beginning of my journal. I know it's not typical and the way that people think of attacking a journal, but it's kind of my way. I don't know, can you tell I was a child of the 60s? Alright, so it's actually days later, many days later, and this has had plenty of time to cure. I have this Dylusions stamp and stencil, the heart, which I believe I have this one in the store. And I'm just going to start by scattering a few of these around. I was very disappointed to find out that these are actually made in Taiwan, so not everything from Ranger is made in America. Oh well, can only try my hardest. Alright, so the white is somewhat translucent, and I'm thinking this is the cover or the opening to my journal, and I want to have some things that represent, you know, some of my favorites or the year or whatever. I guess with journals a lot of times you just do the best you can to, just like with all the other arts, you know, you start out with some ideas and then you let it become whatever it's going to become. So I'm just going to try and make sure that this is very random. Put some of these hearts around in different places. They're fun, and having your heart in your art certainly is representative of art in general. And this will actually become, if I only do one coat, fairly light and in the background. And I'll do some coming down here. I want to make sure that they're not all going straight up and down. Again, very random. And some coming off the bottom. Alright, so I'm going to finish with the hearts and come back with the next thing. Alright, so I have finished putting the hearts on, and I went back and I put some decor around the edges. These books are big enough so they're difficult to show. So I have these borders of these sort of hat looking shapes, and in the upper left hand and right or lower hand corner I have these leaves, and they came from the Dylusions stamp set, which I really like Diane's funny looking hats, I would call them. I don't know what they really are, but I used that and I used these leaves. I figured I really had to get the leaves in because something with gardening and flowers, and I like the way that some of the people who have done journaling videos used these stamps to do the edges. So that's all I'm going to do today, because I actually did this with my Colorbox pigment ink, which you can get in the store, and I've dried it a little, but it does need time to cure. The last thing that I would like to share with you instead, and I'll show you the finished journal at some point, is, and I'm just going to take a piece of paper and put this in here. Now this was my clean off page, alright, so I was using this page to clean my dauber, and I wanted to show you these Dylusions pens. So it is white linen and black marble, same as her paints, the Dylusions paints. And I have already started the white one, which I'll come down here in a dark area and zoom in for you a little bit. So in order to use these pens, you need to let the paint cure. So at least 7 or 8 hours, better a day. For me, it's been quite a few days. Alright, so this is a paint, and you do need to mix it up. It's got the little mixing ball inside. And when you write, you should hold it straight up. So I'm just going to go to this dark area here. And write the word. Beautiful. So this is really good. I like this very much. This pen is going to be great for making cards and art journaling, or whatever it is that you would want to write detail for your doodling that Diane usually does and all that. So that's the white one. But I'm going to back out and show you from the start with the black marble. Alright, so when you get the pen, there's really nothing complicated about this. Start by shaking it up really well. It's been sitting in boxes in storage rooms for a long time. And just pop the cover off, and then just push it down. I'm going to do that again maybe over here. I don't want to do it at an angle because it should be up and down straight, and you just hold it and the paint will slowly go into the well and start to come out. You don't have to bounce it up and down. You shouldn't do that. You want to be careful with it. It doesn't really help the paint to move. Loosening it and to get it primed, holding it down is all you have to do. So I'm just going to hold it here for a minute. I'm going to be patient and tell you that these are in the store if you would like them. I really think they work very well. I like them a lot, and they're going to come in very handy in so many cases for so many reasons. I think we should be starting to see something. Takes about a minute or so the first time. You've got to let the ink get down there. Alright, so now that I have shaken it up and put the so hard that I got a drip on the paper, here we go. Just lovely. Very comfortable in the hand, nothing to get in the way, very smooth, and very clear writing. Alright, so let me bring the journal back. When you use it, you don't come from an angle. You're going to hold it up straight as you can, and do your doodling, create your sentiment, add your marks, as you will. I really like them, and I will show you what I do with them on the other one when it's dried, but I think the video is long enough for now, and you can come back and check these out further when I have more of them completed. Till next time, everybody, this is Kathy from Huckleberry Herbs and Art. I hope you enjoyed this. It was different, and I hope to do more things like this. My hat's off to people who do mixed media process videos, because it's not easy to get a good camera shot and to figure out how to work around if you don't, because I'm on a tripod, and do the artwork uninhibited by the camera and the clock, thinking about time. Alright, hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Till next time, this is Kathy from Huckleberry Herbs and Art. God bless.